Imagine for a moment that by choosing to abstain from food, you could transform not only your physical health, but also awaken profound spiritual depths within yourself. This ancient practice of fasting has served as a gateway to higher consciousness for seekers across ages and civilizations, revealing layers of the self that remain hidden amid the constant noise and indulgences of daily life. It invites deep curiosity about the untapped potential lying dormant in the human experience, where the seemingly simple act of voluntarily going without sustenance for a purposeful period unlocks extraordinary clarity, renewed purpose, inner strength, and a vibrant connection to something far greater than the material world alone. In our contemporary era, saturated with endless digital stimulation, processed foods, and relentless productivity demands, fasting reemerges, not merely as an act of deprivation, but as an intentional liberation, a powerful return to elemental simplicity that restores equilibrium to body, mind, emotions, and spirit. Fasting initiates a cascade of measurable, scientifically validated physical changes that profoundly support overall well-being and resilience. When the body is deprived of caloric intake for extended periods, typically beyond 12 to 16 hours depending on individual metabolism, it naturally transitions into ketosis, a metabolic state in which it begins burning stored body fat for fuel instead of relying on a steady supply of dietary glucose from frequent meals and snacks. During nutrient scarcity, cells switch from growth mode to maintenance mode. They identify dysfunctional proteins, damaged organelles, and accumulated cellular debris, then break them down and recycle their components for energy and new building blocks. This self-cleansing mechanism functions as the body's most profound internal rejuvenation system. Cutting-edge research, including Nobel Prize-winning work on autophagy mechanisms, shows that fasting periods reliably elevate this process, clearing out molecular junk that builds up over decades of constant feeding and stress, thereby promoting cellular vitality and disease resistance. Cardiovascular health sees striking improvements as well. Many individuals experience lowered resting blood pressure, healthier lipid profiles, and diminished oxidative stress and endothelial dysfunction throughout the vascular system. The brain, often called the most metabolically demanding organ, reaps equally, if not more, dramatic rewards. Meanwhile, energy levels paradoxically stabilize and often rise after the initial adaptation phase, free from the roller coaster blood sugar spikes and crashes tied to frequent carbohydrate consumption. Yet, the true, transformative power of fasting reaches far beyond physiology into the luminous realm of spiritual awakening and self-realization. By consciously disciplining the senses and temporarily setting aside the primal drive for physical nourishment, one humbles the ego, redirects pranic life force inward, and opens doorways to profound inner exploration. Voluntary abstinence cultivates an authentic spiritual hunger, a deep yearning not for food, but for meaning, truth, divine intimacy, and direct experience of the sacred. As external distractions and sensory gratifications recede, mental fog dissolves. The mind grows luminous and less cluttered. Intuition becomes razor sharp. Subtle, energetic perceptions heighten dramatically. And many practitioners report spontaneous moments of unity consciousness, boundless peace, transcendent joy, and expanded awareness that transcend ordinary perception. Fasting functions as one of humanity's most potent purification rituals, simultaneously cleansing physical toxins and energetic residues, dissolving subtle blockages in the nadis and chakras, and allowing higher frequencies of consciousness to flow without obstruction. Throughout recorded history, the world's most luminous spiritual luminaries have illuminated these timeless truths through their own embodied practices and profound teachings, each demonstrating fasting's enduring, cross-cultural potency. Jesus Christ's 40-day fast in the Judean wilderness stands as one of the most iconic examples. Emerging from this rigorous trial, he was not diminished but supernaturally strengthened and spirit-empowered for his public mission. Facing temptation directly in a state of extreme physical vulnerability, he triumphed and proclaimed that true sustenance flows not from bread alone, but from every word proceeding from the mouth of God. His fast reveals fasting's capacity to forge unbreakable spiritual resilience, dismantle illusions of self-sufficiency, and forge total alignment with divine will and higher purpose. Siddhartha Gautama, who would become the Buddha, devoted 6 grueling years to extreme fasting and ascetic disciplines in his relentless search for enlightenment. These practices initially heightened his concentration and spiritual acuity, yet ultimately taught him the futility and danger of unbalanced self-denial. Only by embracing the middle way, a harmonious path avoiding both indulgence and destructive austerity, did he attain complete awakening beneath the Bodhi tree. The Buddha's arc powerfully illustrates that fasting can forge essential mental clarity, willpower, and detachment. Yet genuine liberation arises through wise balance, ensuring the practice becomes a vehicle for awakening rather than an obstacle born of fanaticism. In Islam, the Prophet Muhammad instituted the sacred month of Ramadan, a full lunar month of dawn to sunset fasting, as one of the 5 pillars of faith, transforming it into both a deeply personal and powerfully communal act of devotion. He described fasting as a protective shield against sinful impulses, a key that opens paradise's gates while closing those of hell, and a means of restraining destructive forces within the self. The Prophet stressed that fasting reaches its fullest expression when paired with intensified prayer, charity, reflection, and compassion, cultivating spiritual renewal, empathy for those in need, and an unbreakable foundation of ethical strength and inner light. Mahatma Gandhi wove fasting into the very fabric of his existence, employing it as both a personal spiritual discipline and a revolutionary instrument for social and political transformation. He taught that a true fast purifies not just the body but the mind and soul as well, crucifying the flesh to liberate the spirit. For Gandhi, authentic prayer was inseparable from fasting, and genuine fasting inseparable from prayer. Through repeated, often prolonged fasts, he attained profound spiritual rebirth, ethical lucidity, and nonviolent moral authority. Paramahansa Yogananda, the revered yogi who brought Kriya Yoga to the West and authored the spiritual classic Autobiography of a Yogi, presented fasting as a direct method for cultivating spiritual magnetism, the soul's attractive power to draw divine grace, guidance, and fulfillment. Yogananda recommended regular, moderate fasting combined with deep meditation to experientially discover how the body can draw nourishment directly from divine vitality, resulting in heightened awareness, effortless inward focus, and progressive union with the infinite. These illumined masters, spanning continents, centuries, and traditions, collectively affirm that fasting transcends every cultural, religious, and philosophical boundary as a universal accelerator of awakening. Their lives and teachings vividly demonstrate its unparalleled ability to purify the entire being, shatter self-imposed limitations, dissolve egoic veils, and kindle the eternal inner flame of truth and love. Though each adapted fasting uniquely to their path, all recognized its sacred role in harmonizing the human individual with universal reality. When fasting is intentionally combined with dedicated meditation, the awakening process accelerates dramatically, producing a powerful synergistic effect that can propel spiritual evolution at remarkable speed. Meditation alone fosters profound stillness, discriminative insight, and abiding presence. Fasting supercharges these qualities by eliminating the heaviest physical distraction, the ongoing energy demand of digestion and assimilation. With metabolic resources freed, the body redirects vitality toward higher functions, allowing prana to flow unimpeded through subtle channels, nadis, and meridians. Seasoned practitioners frequently describe slipping into deep meditative absorption far more quickly, with crystal clear awareness. This acceleration arises through interlocking physiological and energetic mechanisms. Energetically and spiritually, abstaining from food purifies nadis and chakras, clears vibrational blockages, and creates freer circulation of higher frequency consciousness. The recurring pangs of hunger themselves become potent meditative anchors, gentle, persistent reminders to return attention inward, detach from sensory craving, and observe the impermanent nature of egoic thought patterns. Together, fasting and meditation dismantle layers of conditioning, habitual identification, and subconscious patterning far more rapidly than either practice in isolation, opening swift, sometimes breathtaking insights into the true nature of self, the illusory nature of separateness, the reality of impermanence, and the luminous web of interconnected being. In essence, fasting, when undertaken with clear intention, wise moderation, proper preparation, medical awareness when needed, and deep reverence, offers a complete, holistic pathway to renewal and awakening. The journey requires no exotic tools or distant retreats. It begins with one conscious, loving choice: to pause, to willingly abstain, and to listen, truly listen, to the silent wisdom that blossoms in the sacred space within.